7 o'clock.
CVM News at 7 Wednesday headlines, courtesy of Heart NSDA Trust, Jamaica's Human Development Agency.
Tonight in CVM News at 7, growing unrest among NWA workers as they threaten strike action. Despite strong opposition, Parliament approves NHT drawdown extension. Met Service warns of developing El Nino ahead of hurricane season. And later on in sports, Limo FC among teams through to the third round of Popeye's Challenge Cup.
At 7 Wednesday headlines, courtesy of Heart NSDA Trust, Jamaica's Human Development Agency.
This week on Farming Forward, we're coming to you from, whoa, look at that, we're coming to you from Riverdale in St. Catherine, and we'll be talking to that young entrepreneur you just saw. He was picking breadfruits, but I can tell you about the chickens that he's been caring for all these years. He'll be talking to us about real yard chickens. Farming Forward. We're brought to you by Nutrimix. Tell me, Nutrimix? The big feed. The big feed.
CVM News at 7 Wednesday, courtesy of.
Seize the next IPO opportunity seamlessly with the Sagicor e-Invest.
From Kingston, Jamaica, this is CVM News at 7. It's Wednesday, May 20, 2026. I'm Nika Lewis. Thank you for joining us. Up first this evening, the Jamaica Civil Service Association, JSCA, has issued a warning as staff at the National Works Agency grow restive over unresolved workplace grievances. JCSA President Tisha Clark Griffiths is raising major concerns over salary anomalies and job security fears, warning of a potential industrial action. More in this report.
Tensions are mounting at the National Works Agency as a large portion of the workforce voices anger over a stagnant pay structure. Jamaica Civil Service Association President Tisha Clark Griffiths explains that while executive-level pay disparities were quickly fixed following the 2023 compensation review, the over 200 NWA workers represented by her association have been completely sidelined.
We met with the management team in 2023 following the compensation review. The staff would have raised some concerns. At that time, the CEO of the organization was also impacted, and he was getting less pay than persons he supervised. Clearly, he would have sorted out himself, but the staff at the National Works Agency are still waiting.
The unresolved issues extend far beyond the basic salaries, impacting critical allowances, vacation leave entitlements, and job classifications. Mrs. Clark Griffiths points out that the affected staff includes the very frontline technical officers that braved the ravages of Hurricane Melissa.
We're talking about officers who have been on the front line of the National Works Agency in the hurricane season following Melissa. These are workers who have been working tirelessly for the agency. Now, we have received a response from the CEO of the agency that he is dealing with the matters. Now, these matters should have been dealt with.
Frustrated by management's delay in scheduling an emergency meeting, dozens of workers have signed a document threatening a withdrawal of labor.
Now, if we get a letter with 78 signatories indicating that they are going to withdraw their service and therefore they want urgent intervention, clearly the management doesn't see the issues as urgent, because clearly there is no meeting that is called, but a proposed date of the 26th of May for us to discuss the matter. And I believe that it is treating with the workers with scant regard. The workers are frustrated.
The JCSA insists that they remain open to formal dialogue, but warns that until management takes their demands seriously, workers will remain restive. Kevin Black for CVM News.
In the meantime, Minister responsible for Works, Robert Nesta Morgan, is appealing for calm among National Works Agency staff who are currently restless over outstanding labor issues. He announced that both the Prime Minister and the Finance Minister are committed to urgently addressing and resolving the workers' grievances regarding wages and fringe benefits.
I want to assure the staff of the NWA that the government recognizes the importance of the staff of the NWA, and we're asking the staff to appreciate that we have acted and we're making the necessary movements.
The Education Ministry says it's closely monitoring the condition of several Garvey Maceo students following Wednesday morning's crash along a section of the Bustamante Highway in Clarendon. In a statement, the ministry confirmed that 39 students were involved in the incident. It says 23 students have already been discharged from hospital, while 3 remain admitted for further observation and treatment. The other students are still receiving medical attention as doctors continue their assessments. The ministry says it has been in contact with the school's administration and relevant authorities throughout the day. An educational social worker from Region 7 was also deployed to provide support to students and their parents. Preliminary reports from eyewitnesses suggest the driver of the bus may have run a red light. However, the driver, who spoke with our newsroom off camera, claimed the vehicle suffered brake failure. After months of heavy rainfall, Jamaica could now be heading toward a harsh climate shift. This as forecasters warn that a developing El Nino system may bring scorching temperatures and dangerously dry conditions in the months ahead. But Jamaicans are still being urged to adequately prepare for the Atlantic hurricane season, which begins next month.
It's been an unusually wet past 4 months, and by all indications, it will be an unusually dry start to the 2026 Atlantic hurricane season, which begins on June 1. The Met Office on Tuesday issued a release warning of a developing El Nino phenomenon. The Met Office says, quote, should current projections materialize, Jamaica could experience reduced rainfall activity during the summer period and in the lead up to the primary rainfall season peaking in October. Such conditions, it says, may present challenges for water resources, agriculture, and broader environmental systems, including increased heat stress affecting crops and livestock. End quote. Ivan Thompson is Principal Director of the Met Service.
We recognize that the rainfall has really been decreasing over the island. Also, temperatures have been rising, and we're watching the El Nino as it seems to be developing this year, and it could be a very strong one. So we're watching it very closely. We'll be issuing any kind of releases that are necessary, and of course meeting with the whatever officials are necessary, but we want you to make sure that you take your information from credible sources. The Meteorological Service is on the ball.
But this may not be just an ordinary El Nino year, with conditions showing signs of developing into a far more intense super El Nino. Javoy Sawyers is a meteorologist.
We're projecting a super El Nino. An El Nino typically refers to an anomaly in the ocean temperatures of about half a degree or more. Now, with a super El Nino, that anomaly is about a 2-degree increase or more in ocean temperature waters. And this, coupled with the increasing global climate crisis and climate change based on the human factor, this is what we're looking at to push the El Nino further into a super phase, which would cause increased drought conditions in some places and also increased rainfall conditions in other places.
But he warns a hurricane is still possible.
The El Nino typically means a suppression of hurricane activity or tropical storm development. It doesn't mean that no hurricane or tropical storm will happen. It just means that we'll have a quieter year with regards to hurricane, but it only takes one hurricane, so it doesn't matter if it's a quiet year or active year. All it takes is a one workplace hurricane or one hurricane to sweep through the area.
Jamaicans, in the meantime, are being urged to start making preparations for the possible drought.
Start looking at reduced water use or trying to store as much water as possible. Persons may want to invest in a tank or so, because when we have these reduced rainfall activity, we typically, in the corporate area, get water lock-offs for a prolonged period of times. So persons may want to look into getting water storage facilities.
Amoy Harriet, CVM News.
The special report of investigation into the Firearm Licensing Authority, FLA, by the Integrity Commission was reportedly not tabled in Parliament this week, and the People's National Party sees this as a neglect. During their post-cabinet media briefing, leader and executives of the opposition gathered to critique this decision by Parliament, questioning whether or not it is in the best interest of the public. We hear more from Crystal Williams.
In November 2023, according to the recollection of the leader of the opposition and president of the People's National Party, Mark Golding, the Speaker of the House issued a ruling saying that reports from the Director of Investigations submitted under Section 54, subsection 4 of the Integrity Commission's Act will be tabled as soon as possible after receipt by Parliament.
It will be requiring the immediate and direct attention of the House. After it is tabled, it will then be submitted to the Integrity Commission Oversight Committee for their consideration and report. By that time, of course, it will be a public document. Kindly note, all reports from the Integrity Commission will be reviewed by the officers before they are tabled, and it will be tabled in the soonest possible time. No effort will be made to delay such reports.
In respect of this, the PNP president says the failure to table the report is a breach of the Speaker's own guidelines and inconsistent with the Act. However, while the Act doesn't specify a time frame for the tabling of reports, Golding asserts that the scheme of the Act will be undermined if the Parliament neglects to table these investigative reports. He recalls that this is an issue that's being passed down from the previous Speaker of the House.
That controversy continued with reports coming to Parliament which were not being tabled on a timely basis. And of course, tabling is what makes it available to parliamentarians, the media, and the public, other than illegal leaks of information which we know sometimes takes place to some media houses.
Some of the reports that opposition spokesperson on productivity, efficiency and competitiveness, Peter Bunting, says he has witnessed from the Integrity Commission within the last decade contain examples of behavior such as issuing license to underqualified persons, bypassing statutory appeal mechanisms, and ministers having extra legal review committees to justify issuing of licenses to unsuitable persons. He also notes that the Firearm Licensing Authority has not issued a report to Cabinet for the last 7 or 8 years. Bunting believes it to be an example of state capture of executives of agencies that should be operating fairly and autonomously.
This is completely unacceptable in my view. And the fact that they haven't observed their obligations of accountability, and then we have what we expect to be a damning investigation or a report of serious irregularities coming out of this investigation, and the attempt to suppress it altogether is more than concerning. I believe it's absolutely scandalous.
Crystal Williams reporting for CVM News.
We take a break. Stay with us.
This is the smile on your child's face when you open a Sagicor Bank Star Savers account this Child's Month. And this is their expression if they're one of 6 winners of either a gaming console, wireless headphones, or earbuds in a Smarter Future Smart Bundle promotion. This is the expression on their face when you take out a Sagicor Life Child Protector insurance plan. And this is your expression when they thank you for securing their future. Protect your job and start saving for their future. Visit your nearest Sagicor branch or sagicor.com for details.
crispy onion rings and Kentucky Fried Chicken together till the first bite breaks them apart. Say yes to the new Onion Ring Zero from KFC.
Employers, once a month, you have the power to shape Jamaica's future. By paying your hard 3% contribution, you're not just contributing, you're investing in people, in skills, in our economy. Your hard contribution trains working-age Jamaicans, aligns programs with workforce needs, and secures our future. That's not just contribution, it's transformation. Contribute to heart and to your future.
This is Flow, Jamaica's fastest mobile network, as verified by Ookla. It's the result of a complete network rebuild, with more power backup to reduce outages and satellite backup for greater mobile stability. You can even make regular calls using Wi-Fi. Welcome to our new era of connectivity, and we're not stopping there. This is Flow, Jamaica's network.
Thanks so much for staying with us. With this year's hurricane season less than 2 weeks away, St. Thomas citizens are warned to take heed and begin early preparations. However, councillors for the parish are furious about the lack of attention to issues of flooding that the communities have since been grappling with, and even for years, as fear that if immediate actions are not taken, the next flooding event may result in casualties. Natasha Williams tells us more.
Our next meeting, we will be in hurricane season, and at that time we won't have a chance to be proactive. We'll have to be reacting to the realities that we will see. And right now, death looms on the horizon.
The chilling warnings of Councillor Dinsdale Smith as the 2026 Atlantic hurricane season swiftly approaches. The councillor for the Port Morant division says the issue is of major concern as several communities in St. Thomas and Morant Bay are notoriously flood prone, and a recent catastrophic flooding proved that the parish is not prepared to face heavy rainfall, much less a hurricane.
About a month ago, we had this extraordinary flooding in the Port Morant space, in the Port Morant Central District. And we had a protest that was staged to highlight all the challenges that we've been having. And to this date, we have not had one single response from any agency regarding the challenges we have had.
He says despite considerations from National Works Agency's communications manager Stephen Shaw for dredging work to be done at the river's mouth in Port Morant, nothing has yet been actioned.
From my layman's perspective, that alone will not solve the problem. We need more comprehensive works north of the flooding area, and as such, I'm asking for the kind of attention that we need because the rains are here.
Meanwhile, Councillor for the Bath Division in Eastern St. Thomas, Ludlow Mattison, emphasized that the situation is truly dire.
Hardy Crossing worse. The flood is bad in Hardy Crossing. See, I think probably we will have some improvement. When I look at Port Morant country, it's a disgrace. Port Morant country. I'm not used to flood. I'm flood now. So we have to take on this into consideration.
The concerns were highlighted at the monthly meeting of the St. Thomas Municipal Corporation held recently. Natasha Williams, CVM News.
Still in St. Thomas, medical professionals from the St. Thomas Health Department who were also present at the municipal meeting say despite recently losing the 42 Cuban nurses who joined the healthcare team at the Princess Margaret Hospital in 2022, they've been soldiering on in serving the people. With the recent calls to beef up environmental and housing structures in preparation for the upcoming hurricane season, medical officer of the parish says they have also been ramping up health services.
We're doing our vaccinations, we're going out there doing outreach. We had a big one for vaccination week out in Americas, particularly in Marvin and Center. And so we continue to encourage the populace to ensure that their children, boys 9 to 14, girls 9 up to 26, get their human papillomavirus vaccination. Because 70% of the cancers that come from the neck of the womb could have been prevented if we had gotten those vaccines.
Dr. Smith says they are prepared for the hurricane season, especially where water security is concerned. In the meantime, Deputy Chief Public Health Inspector for the parish, Rosie Duhaney, noted that environmental activities on the ground has so far been successful.
And community health education sessions were held. Population primarily impacted was 178. A total of 363 pieces of literature was distributed and 28 drop covers were strategically placed. A total of 15 new refuse containers were also placed in the community, and this would improve solid waste management.
The mental health of Jamaica's children is under the spotlight as health professionals warn that more young people are struggling with anxiety. One expert says factors including violence, social media, academic pressure, and family instability are taking a toll on the nation's youth, while access to mental health support remains limited for many families. Akeem Aret gives us the details in this report.
Health of Jamaica's children is becoming an issue of growing concern as more young people battle anxiety, depression, trauma, and emotional distress. Experts say exposure to violence, bullying, academic pressure, and social media are all contributing factors, while limited access to mental health services continues to leave many children without the help they need. Consultant pediatrician Dr. Alowa Tumilayo Bewaji Edopa says the mental health situation among children and adolescents in Jamaica is of significant concern.
You just have to watch the news to see how many children are involved in altercations that become physical and are fatal. We're finding fatalities even in high schools. We're having children who are committing suicide. So we do have a significant challenge. We have a real issue that we need to deal with.
Dr. Edopa says many children are struggling silently, often without the support or early intervention they need. She notes that the modern digital era has created a generation that is constantly connected online, but in many cases socially disconnected.
There's a general sense of loneliness, feeling as if there's no one to actually connect to, no one to speak to. We find a lot of depression, a lot of anxiety, a lot of just self-esteem issues really in this time.
The pediatrician argues that social media can sometimes heighten feelings of isolation, low self-esteem, and emotional distress among young people. With recent reports of seizures among adolescents, particularly during exam preparation and testing periods, Dr. Edopa believes there may be a link between academic pressure and a child's mental well-being.
When a child's mental health is affected, they may not be able to say, this is how I'm feeling, this is what I'm going through, but you see it's kind of in the external behaviors. So they may be unable to perform when it comes to exam time. They may just freeze, actually. Or they may experience this as more of a personally physical situation, so abdominal pain, headaches, or just a lack of desire to do things that they normally enjoy.
She explains that when children are overwhelmed, they may begin to withdraw from activities they once enjoyed, while displaying changes in behavior, mood, or performance. Dr. Edopa also points to the impact of violence, family instability, economic hardship, and cyberbullying, which she says are leaving many children emotionally affected. The consultant pediatrician warns that many parents may miss the warning signs of mental health struggles in their children.
It's very important if you have a child who was otherwise performing well in school and now you notice that their school performance is actually declining, or if they seem to be more withdrawn, so they were talking to their peers before, they were going out, and now they're more in their room, they don't want anyone to talk with them, they just want to be by themselves. If they used to be involved in specific activities, things that they enjoyed, and now you find that they just have no interest whatsoever in things that they used to enjoy. If they seem to be more anxious, if they They seem to be just generally sad or a sense of hopelessness. And if at any point in time a child expresses to you a desire to commit suicide, then you have to take it seriously and get them help.
She is urging parents to pay close attention to changes in their children's behavior, adding that more must be done to better protect and support the mental well-being of Jamaica's children.
Don't accept my child is a teenager and no longer wants to talk with me. Be there. Teenagers do respond when you're just there, you're doing activities together, you get them involved. From a policy level, we do need to change the way we support the schools, we support the parents. There's a lot of support that's needed. There's a lot that just needs to be done, and we need to inject funds to be able to actually achieve those things.
For those experiencing mental health challenges, you can contact the You Matter Counseling Service at 876-838-4897 and the Jamaica's Mental Health Prevention Helpline at 888-639-5433. Reporting for CVM News, I'm Akeem Art.
The path ahead promises to balance efficiency, accountability and opportunity, spurred by the government's changes to impact PATH beneficiaries and the program overall. The minister gave the latest updates expected to remove the delays and challenges faced by scores of beneficiaries following a recent review. Charles Jr. says despite the over $9 billion in grants allocated to vulnerable Jamaicans in 2025, the Prime Minister tasked his ministry to complete a review of the social protection program. He notes it found areas of concern including onboarding hurdles and delays that he attempted to remedy with alacrity.
Effective immediately, things will change. All eligible applicants who are provisionally approved under step 1, which is the BMIS assessment process, will no longer face unnecessary delays under this government. Two things will happen. Number one, if you are provisionally approved based on the data that we have, you will advance immediately to a temporary payable status once confirmed by the BMIS system, and you will start to be paid. Number two, we will continue the verification and orientation processes. Matter of fact, we will strengthen them and modernize them through clearer timelines, improved operational standards, and enhanced verification mechanisms.
Minister Charles maintains that this shift from excessive bureaucracy while maintaining accountability and oversight is critical for social programs like PATH.
Far too many beneficiaries, the legitimate changes affecting their household status was not being updated. They were not getting those updates to their status because of the issues in the system. As a result, some of the beneficiaries experienced delays, interruptions, others were left stalled within the recertification process, just ongoing, while awaiting updates to reflect important life changes. And let me give you an example. For instance, a child transitioning from primary to secondary school, that change could not be put in place. Changes in the household composition, you had one more child. Anything else like that? Changes in school attendance.
He says these shifts often affect benefit eligibility, adding that social protection systems ought to reflect beneficiaries' social realities.
Beneficiaries who were previously stalled within the recertification process due to unresolved status update issues will now immediately be progressively released and regularized as the ministry accelerates the reconciliation and updating of affected cases. This reform will allow eligible beneficiaries to transition into their correct benefit category more efficiently and to ensure that support reaches families at the level that they genuinely qualify for.
CVM News at 7 continues after this break.
I challenge you to a race tomorrow. Challenge on.
Here at Connex, we reward innovation, resilience, and creativity. These are the core values of Connex. Connex, Caribbean engineers at...
Already have a T-tag for your vehicle? Just top it up and go through. You can now conveniently add funds to your T-tag on WhatsApp. Just save our T-tag WhatsApp number 876-355-3336 and send us a message when you want to top up. Top up your T-tag and continue to go through quicker and cheaper on Transjam highways.
Say yes to the new onion ring zinger from KFC. The time by KFC is
7:30.
There's nothing like a Jamaican greeting.
Yeah, look.
Blessings.
Yo, man them.
Father World Wagwan! Celebrating 25 years of connection. Every call, every click, every message, and every shared moment. Digicel, powered by you, connected by us.
Jamaica's natural beauty is more than what we see. It is life. It is our present. It is our future. Beneath our waters, coral reefs are being restored, protecting marine life and strengthening our coastal communities. On land, our forest ecosystems are being renewed and rehabilitated, restoring habitats, creating sustainable livelihoods, and strengthening water and food security. And in the hills of Portland, a rare and fragile species finds refuge, protected because one ordinary Jamaican made a decision that created a lasting impact. Across Jamaica, these efforts remind us that small actions taken locally can have a global impact. This International Day for Biological Diversity, all Jamaicans have a critical role to play. We must act proactively to protect our forests and wetlands, preserve our wildlife, because when we act locally, we protect our future globally. This message was brought to you by the Ministry of Water, Environment and Climate Change in collaboration with GEF, SGP, UNDP, and NEP.
Welcome back. Let's now go to social media with Michael Paul.
What's trending online today? From banter to brilliance, after years of ridicule, heartbreak, near misses and being written off, Arsenal are finally Premier League champions again. Through the hardships, the rebuilding, and the endless jokes from rivals, the Gunners kept believing. And now fans across the world are celebrating as North London returns to the top. With one game still left to play, the title is already secured. And plenty of football fans have a lot to say about it. Let's hear what you had to say. At Sammy Joe comments, the feeling what I feel right now cannot be described. At Chadia Did Ever says, Gunners, we cry real tears, you know. At Alamind MD_dot says, champions mentality, unstoppable passion, and football the Arsenal way. This season belongs to Arsenal Football Club. From breathtaking goals to unforgettable moments, the Gunners prove that hard work and unity creates champions. North London is shining again. At CFC Mods says, Manchester City winning the league all these years made us all forget what it actually means to see a club with history win a league title. There are actually fans that this means something deep to. I know this feeling, not all these plastics. At shot.west_comments, Manchester United are the new banter club now, cause from 2013 them now win. And that's what's trending online today. Continue to share your thoughts with us on X at CVM TV and CVM_television on Instagram and Facebook. I'm Michael Paul.
It's now time for regional and international news.
We begin with news from the region. Barbados Prime Minister Mia Mottley says government remains committed to shielding Bajans from the impact of the ongoing conflict in the Middle East. PM Motley noted that despite those interventions, the prices of diesel and gasoline should be higher than their current rates. CBC Barbados tells us more.
The government has taken a deliberate decision to be able to shield as much as we can in the event of this being short to medium term. If it goes longer, then obviously the prices will have to go up for everybody. But what matters is the pace and the intensity. You can withstand heavy rain, so can I. What we cannot withstand is a deluge. And a deluge is what is on us if we were to allow a 40 cents US per liter price to come.
Meanwhile, U.S. Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche announced that former Cuban President Raul Castro has been indicted in the United States on murder charges in a major escalation in Washington's pressure campaign against the island's communist government. More from Reuters News.
Today, we are announcing an indictment charging Raul Castro and several others with conspiracy to kill U.S. nationals. Mr. Castro and the others are charged with additional crimes as well, including destruction of aircraft and 4 individual counts of murder. Our message today is clear. The United States and President Trump does not and will not forget its citizens.
U.S. President Donald Trump says he's giving diplomacy one shot to reach a deal with Iran, claiming progress in the negotiations despite an earlier warning that the U.S. could resume bombing if peace talks fail.
We'd have to open the strait. That would open immediately. So we're going to give this one shot. I'm in no hurry. You know, everyone think, oh, the midterms, I'm in a hurry. I'm in no hurry. Ideally, I'd like to see few people killed as opposed to a lot. We can do it either way, but I'd like to see few people killed. I just wonder whether or not they have the good of the people, because some of the things they're doing to me means they don't have the good of the people, and they have to have the good of the people. There's a lot of anger now in Iran because people are living so badly. There's a lot of foment that we haven't seen before so much, and we'll see what happens.
And that's it for regional and international news. I'm Marshall Hazley.
Up next, sports with Jordan Ford. Stay with us.